Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
How many leaves they're eligible for? What are the leaves they're eligible for? We'll be creating policies in our setups. We need to assign it here. This page is specifically for the assigning purposes. Any doubts on? We have a question like these are accruals and leaves will be designed by like the developer for the requirement of the client, right? This page. Not this page, the accrual. Yeah. That's purely based on the clients what type of leaves they need. Like how much leaves they should have when it should get credited. How much can be debited for a month or for a year? How much can be carried forwarded? All these items are determined by the client's requirement. We will just create it on the site, the setup area. This place is just to assign it, okay? And apart from, usually it happened in the workshop, right? When we are going to implement all these things. Yeah, that is the major area we are going to cover. So we are going to cover mainly on. First, we will cover the pay policies, which has the more number of items and which is more important to track the interviews. And second item, which is like the second priority, would be the accruals, because if you are very strong with accruals and pay policies, you can track any. Like, these are like the foundation models of Kronos. Without this, no company can perform in Kronos. Okay, so we have to have a good knowledge of any companies, their pay policies, I guess for accruals, right? So the thing is, I can frankly say like there are 3 core modules for Kronos, okay? One is pay policy, accrual and integration. Integration is more of like SQL integration tool building, the how to map the data from one system to another. Okay, so you can have a minimal idea on SQL and CSI. Like I'll give you just how the integration looks, okay. Apart from that, if you are very clear with these accruals and pay policies, you will definitely land at a job. It's like 3 pillars of Kronos. So other modules act upon these. They provide additional support to these. Got it. If a company is using Kronos, it's extensively for these 2 reasons. Like Kronos is actually a time and management tool. So the time calculation, everything is from pay policies. How the employee should be paid. How many hours is regular? How many hours is overtime? How many hours of vacation the employee can take? These all comes under these 2 modules. Got. And we will also cover the other minor modules like schedules, common setup which provides support to them, like creating shifts and assigning it to them, and how to see it in time card. How to assign schedules. So these are all items. These are like a small part. These modules you can completely understand within 1 or 2 days. Okay, the schedule modules and other stuff. But these are the modules which will take some time and will dedicate more time to this so that we understand each item from the modules. If you take schedules, you can understand it in 1 or 2 days because schedules is pretty much simple. You need to know, like you already know, what shift means. You already know like what is the start time, what end time means. Okay, you work on that extensively. You daily know like you are in a shift and you have an understanding of what the shift would be, why we use it. We just need to see how we are using it in Kronos. That's it. But these are completely out of topic for you and a new one for you. So, and it has multiple items to cover. It's like a huge list. So the three pillars are basically a close pay policies and integration. So if you're clear with these three, like 75% of job opportunity, they're just looking for that purpose. Is that if you're putting a resume stating that you have only 2.5 years of experience in Kronos, 2 years of experience in Kronos, but we have worked in a summer. Like if you're putting like I have total experience of 6 years, but only 2 years, last 2 years I'm in Kronos. So the area they would be looking for you to be expertised is pay policies and approach. Because without having an understanding of this, like you can never excel in any other modules, like you will be in some advanced modules of Kronos. Without having this foundation, you can't excel in that. Okay, so we're going to the personality data today. And so we have seen general information and accruals. Now let's see percentages. Since this is just a moment, there is a number of dates. Usually what we will have here is we'll have a hire date when the employee is hired. Okay. And then we can have maybe a seniority date or accrual dates. Like seniority date, in the sense some companies might prepone employees' seniority date. Example, employee hire date is 2022. Why we are having few more dates is, say in a particular company, employee is eligible for promotion only after 5 years. Or employee is eligible for additional vacation balances only after 5 years. But the employee is hired on this year and the company has promised that we will give you additional vacation balances from the date of hire. Example what I'm saying is, as per the company policy, freshers are eligible for 80 hours of vacation. But to hire a particular fresher, they have given a promise that, okay, we will give you 120 hours of vacation because the candidate is good. The company needs to please him. They are saying for you, as an exception, we'll give you 120 hours of vacation, that is additional 40 hours compared to other employees if you join us. So when that particular employee joins, we need to make an exception for it. So as per our standard policy, if he's a fresher, he is eligible for 80. Only after 5 years, he is eligible for 120 hours. In that case, if we change his seniority date to 5 years before, it will automatically load 120 hours for a year. No, it's basically just to give him extra benefit, right? Yeah, extra benefits. Yeah, it's not just the accruals, there are a few other items also, right? It might be his overtime payment, or it might be his like to cancel out his probation period. Yeah, based on just like who is this person, right? Who are they hiring? Yeah, on case-to-case basis. It's not generic for everyone. So generic will be the hire date. But if they want to override the hire date and provide some benefits to the employee, they can have any one of these dates created. And they can assign a different date to that. And also this is more useful when we have a rehire. The employee will be working here from 2001. He might have left on 2010. Then he might come back again to this company on 2022. Then he's a rehire, right? But this will load only the data file which will stand to 2001. Right? If you want to take care of the rehire part, we can have one date which states rehire, and in that particular date field, we can map a field which shows the latest hire dates. Yeah, so just for our additional convenience, we have this, okay. Person date. And the next item we need to see here is the additional information. This is nothing. This is like an extra field, okay. So we have here, it says only custom data field, but we can create multiple columns. It's from the setup. So in setup, there is an item called custom data, custom field labels. Okay, so if you see here currently, it will have what we have in this people tab. Only custom data field. This is to this particular. Additional information is like an additional field. So whatever we are unable to fit in within this person dates or within the general information or within what the items, whatever we have in the job assignment, we can always create a column and map some value to it. Example, if you see here, like we don't have any place where the employee we can segregate whether the employee is a weekly or like whether the employee is hourly or whether he's a salary. Okay. In that type, we can create one more custom field label stating that it's like weekly or hourly. So now if I refresh my people tab, it's not loading. Few minutes. We'll have another column here stating weekly or hourly. Okay. 1 minute, it's loading. We can't create employees here. Karan, I didn't get you. Can you tell me what's wrong? We can't create the employees here. We can create it manually also, Kiran, but mostly how it is done is it's done through integration, where it loads the employee from one place to another because we are not hiring as a part of Kronos. Okay. Whether it is possible or not, just for understanding's sake, I'm just asking. I know that idea will be integrated. You can create a new employee. You just need to be here somewhere, pick someone and click on admin to take you to the clinical pages as an employee. You can put in the values. What is the last name? First name, and you can create an employee. Or if you want an employee who is similar to this employee or this employee, you can click and duplicate, so that all the fields will be duplicated to him except his name. You can type in the name and ID and save it out. It will save your time, okay. That option is available, but mostly it is single to a system to have a consistency. Usually the data will be populated from other source data. Because, yeah, why? Because for one employee, 2 employees, it's fine. For example, we have around 10,000 employees or 20,000 employees. It's impossible to do manually, right? Yeah, it's difficult. And even if we can load it through a file, The reason we are having a third party system is, say example, say today I am in a payroll where I am in the hourly role. Okay, tomorrow I am switching to salary. Okay, they need to switch me to salary. Okay, so in that case we cannot ask the HR to go. We cannot give the HR or the manager or the reporting, the higher person, access to Kronos administration. Okay, so that they can go in here and select the employee and say, okay, today you are in this leave policy from 2 to 1. You are in a part-time hourly policy. From 2022, you are moving into full-time hourly. Okay, so we cannot say the HR to go and make the changes here. Okay, what we can say is we can give him access to the portal which they are using. It can be a Workday, or it can be a Success Factors, or it can be an Employee Central, where the HRs used to put their data, so that we can give full access to them to that system, and they can put whatever the changes with an effective date, and it will automatically go into that. It avoids confusion because if we give full access to Kronos, they can make any changes or they can enter any hours into this Kronos. So changes, everything should be tracked from where it came from when it has changed, how it has been changed. So to have that consistency, we have this particular feature of loading all the details from some other system. Okay, so they load, make changes to the we are not maintaining any master data kind of data here, right? So they're like, only we are showcasing the data from the other sources and we are just doing the whatever the technicality has been used from the Kronos that we are using here, right? Yeah, and also we can have a calculation also within the integration to load some data based on other fields. Say example. What I'm saying is example, what I can give you. See, here we can say he's a weekly, hourly based on maybe if he's accrual. If employees accruals ends with hourly, please mark additional information as hourly or hedge. Okay. So these calculations we can do within the Kronos system, like within the integration, so that it can not just the source field. We can do some calculation from the source data and arrive at some solution. So the reason we have a different system is to have some sync and to know how the data has flown into Kronos and out of Kronos. Because there is no way to track within Kronos if I make this from hedge. Now I'm deleting it. Now I'm making him FT and saving it, like only few items we can track here in the history. So other items, we cannot track it out. So we need to know who has put in these changes. Right now I am the admin. There are few people who will make these changes, but we need to understand. There might be an issue stating that this employee is not a full-time. Who has put him as a full-time and not as an hourly? We need to know who made that change. Those things are capable of capturing. Only Zapier like employees, etc., where it will tell who made these changes from hourly to full-time or full-time to hourly when it has been made. Whoever has approved that change. Only after the approval, the changes will go to Kronos. And now you can see here the additional information. As soon as we have created a new setup, there is an option called custom feed. As soon as we have added a particular row here, we have that applicable in additional information. So it's more or less to have more convenience. If you want to do more segregation or to have more clarity on what the employees say, as I said, if you go to job assignment, there you will find the primary label account, which we saw in the quick search button. This primary labor account, This is available under job assignment. Okay. As I have said to you, this primary account is capable of accommodating only 7 values. This primary labor account job is not a mandatory one, but labor account is a mandatory. But this is capable of accommodating only 7 values. So, if you want to put something more than that which is not available in these fields, additional information is the go to place where you can add whatever the column you need. Weekly or hourly, whether it's a full-time or a part-time. Whether he's a bi-weekly or a weekly, what payroll period he is into. So we can create even hundreds of additional fields and add values to it. And these fields also can be directly mapped in and out through integrations. Because here we have a unique label to that. Custom field label 1, custom field label 2. So if you just give this name and map a value, it will automatically map it. So clear around the additional information. Mark here. Next, we just move into the nearby tab. Still now, we saw the personality data. Now we are going to see job related data. So first item is labor account. I have given you a clear picture of what labor account is. This is the place where we map it to. You see here, I'll just click on search. It will give you this particular test system. We have our labor account in this value. Like the first value is company. The second is region, third is division, fourth is facility, fifth is department. Sixth is cost and center, seventh is job. So it varies from organization to organization. Some companies will have different values for 1 to 7. Here I need to pick one from each value. And as in each value will correspond to, like if it's 1 or 1, it's CAFE. It's 1, 2, it's bath, 1 and 3 is healthcare. Similar to that, each item in region. Also, there will be a number of values, whether it's Europe, Canada, Australia, where it is. So we'll pick each one, and once you click on apply, it will add a primary labor account value to an employee. Click. And this is the place where we map the time zone. So EMAD currently are in Newark. And we are in Bangalore. So we work for the same company. My office is at Bangalore, yours is at Newark. So we need to swipe in and swipe out. How come the system understand what time I'm swiping in and out? So say we are both swiping in right now. But for me it will take 8 am as in punch, for you it will take 10:30 p.m. as in punch. Because yours time zone is Eastern. So it depends for each employee based on what time zone he's in. So this is where we map the time zone. All the available time zones will be here. We just need to map it out. Yeah. And this is where we need to map. Who is this employee's manager? Whom does he reports to in Kronos? Example, if he reports to this guy, we need to pick from that employee. Select that manager and save it out. That's it. So this is all about the primary account. And in the primary account, the next item we have is timekeeper. So this is the area where we map whatever we create in the pay policies, that is the payroll. So the ultimate aim of pay policy is to create a payroll by mapping all the sub items available here. You see here. Ultimate aim of this is like a bottom-up approach. We go from bottom to top. We'll map these items to some place, these items to this, these items to this, and at the top we have payrolls. We'll have a creative payroll and we'll map all these items, whatever we have created, to that. Where do we map the payroll to an employee? is here under the timekeeper. In this payroll column, we need to map. Okay. That is about the timekeeper. And then we have like a scheduler is not needed. Scheduler is not needed. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.